Winning games is fun. I agree. But I want to develop the young guys. And I feel like right now the young guys are contributing to the wins, which is going to cement them into the lineup,
It's the best of both worlds.
Absolutely. The most important thing when I look at the contenders versus the other teams that I don't think are contenders, and Alex in Atlanta kind of alluded to it, do they have elite lineups? Absolutely. Do they have elite starting pitching? Absolutely. But they all have elite bullpens.
Yeah.
And to have a team staff around 3 for an ERA with the Yankees and the Phillies, that matters to me. So I look at their bullpen, the Giants right now. Camilo in the 9th. I told you Tyler Rogers is on fire right now.
I got no problem with Tyler Rogers.
He's my 8th inning guy. I think Randy Rodriguez has thrown his name into the mix for the time being. He's my 7th inning guy. I like Ryan Walker in the 6th.
Well, when you open up your eyes and you see Randy Rodriguez pitching in the 8th inning to try to win the series, and you're up 1, that raises a lot of eyebrows saying, who's this guy in a high-leverage situation? And you went over players, you went over teammates, you went over coaches, you went over Bob Melvin to say, okay, I made that decision. Tomorrow, it may be a 3-2 game at the top of the 7th, or the bottom of the 7th, I should say, on this road trip. Go ahead, Randy. Go pitch the bottom of the 7th. Keep the lead. Can you keep the lead safe? Those are big stepping stones for him. Those are big stepping stones for Matos bat and leadoff. And he's got the center field job. I'm not worried about Matos.
I'm not either.
He's not going anywhere. He's your center fielder for the rest of the season. I don't care if he goes 0 for 33 over the next 2 weeks. I don't give a damn. Just let him play at center. Figure it out. All right? We got to figure this thing out. And you got to figure it out against the big boys because the stretch coming up. And I don't want to overlook the New York Mets. You got to beat the Mets. You come back home with a 4-2 road trip, and all of a sudden you play the Phillies, the Yankees, the Arizona Diamondbacks, and the Rangers. Now you got some serious momentum. Let's see what happens here. Let's see what. And by the way, these series are really good for Farhan Zaidi. They're really good for Farhan Zaidi in this sense. We keep talking about staying in the race until the deadline.
Yeah.
Well, games like this, if you do lose them, you figure out what the difference is in these wins and losses. You figure out what's missing against teams like the Phillies, the Yankees, the Braves, the Dodgers, and then you can start to work some magic at the deadline saying, okay, this is what I need to take that next step. Especially because it feels like, all right, they're 1 game behind the Cubs, they're 1 game behind the Braves for the wild card. It's going to be a race with the Padres. It's going to be a race all season long. But how do you separate yourself from that pack? Well, you got to figure out what you need to go up against the big boys here. So I think these series are a good litmus test for not only the Giants, but it also helps Farhan figure out what they may need in July, August, and September to make that run into the playoffs.
Well, and it's like when we look at the roster crunch, because Conforto's going to get activated, whether it's today, tomorrow, I don't know. Nick Ahmed at some point is going to get activated. Right now, whoever they drop, it's not like, oh, yeah, that guy deserves to go. It's like, yeah, that guy's a big leaguer, and that sucks, you know? Like, even Brett Wisely, be honest with you, I did not think Brett Wisely was a Major League Baseball player last year. Well, he got called up yesterday or this week, and he's contributed. He's contributed this week. And so I think it's going to be tough to send him down because he gives you center field help, and he gives you second and third shortstop help. And then I look at, who knows what happens with Austin Slater. Austin Slater, for the right team, can be a nice piece off the bench. I think he's the odd man out for the Giants currently.
We're going to get those roster decisions at some point today, right?
I feel like it's going to happen before the game. So tonight you got Harrison starting.
So 4:30's first pitch or 4:10.
What do you think? 1 noon? We'll hear about these options?
We might hear about them very, very soon here. We might get some leaks here about the roster. What time do you guys play today? 4:10. Yeah.
I do.
It's usually 4:10 first pitch when it comes to the Mets. They have their little 4:10 first pitch.
I just does the Mets do anything for you? Because when I think of the Mets,
it's New York.
I know.
It's New York.
I love these Mets matchups.
No, this is big time.
Yeah.
Because let me tell you, there's a lot of old school Giants fans out there in New York City. Flannery's. Did they shut that down? Or
they shut
it down? Damn it!
But that was the spot.
Was it Finnery's? Flannery?
Yeah,
Finnerty. I went out there when I stopped by that bar when I was out there in New York in 2014. And it was really like, it felt like I was at home.
Yes.
Felt like I was at home. And so you get a lot of old school Giants fans, and they would do road trips. They would get the bus, they buy tickets, they go over to Citi Field, bus a bunch of Giant fans out there. Obviously, the Mets colors they stem from the Dodgers and the Giants because they both left New York City. So they got the Mets in as an expansion team, and they combined those colors. So it's a lot of old school Giants fans, and it's New York City. It means something. Queens, Citi Field, the whole apple in the center field, Mr. Met, the amazing Met. Then you got the polar bear, Pete Alonso, who we're going to see. And how do you pitch to him? How do you pitch to Francisco Lindor? Mets are a very, very weird team.
And Severino, the last time you faced him, he tantalized you for a couple innings, and then you touched him up. You get Harrison, Hicks, Webb over the weekend. You gotta get 2 out of 3. I mean, this is your rotation here. You gotta get a 2 out of 3 against the Mets right here with Harrison, Hicks, and Webb.
And they're struggling. They've lost 8 of their last 10.
I didn't know that.
They've lost 8 of their last 10.
They are
struggling. They got swept in Cleveland. They had a 3-0 lead. Quintana gives up a game-tying 3-run homer the other day. They had a day off to get back home, but they are scuffling right now. 7 games under 500. It's a really weird team. Francisco Lindor's batting .203 on the season.
And
.203.
Feels like 10 of those hits came against the Giants.
Yeah, maybe. In that series.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no doubt. Sterling Marte, this team is just underachieving right now. They are underachieving, so you want to take advantage of this as you got this good juju going on. Win a series. Win a series. Like, don't forget, you won the series against the Mets back at Oracle Park. You won 2 or 3. Let's make that happen again at Citi Field.
It's just a good time to be a Giants fan right now. It just feels like all these young guys we've been hearing about, you get a chance to see them. You're getting some good. You're getting some bad. You know, like Patrick Bailey obviously he's been a really good draft pick. There's just no other way around it. For him to throw out that runner in the 9th inning the way that he did after Luciano boots that ball, I mean, that's one young guy picking up another young guy. And then you see Matt Chapman making plays the way he is and the way he's hitting the ball right now. It's elevating the entire lineup when your cleanup guy is that red hot. The guy behind him, Soler's getting good hits to see. The guy in front of him's getting good pitches to see. And it's just, you know, we always have a joke, like when the team is hot, there's a fight at the bat rack, and then a game broke out. It's like the little joke, you know.
I got a joke for you.
Guys can't wait to get up there and hit. It's contagious, and I feel like the Giants right now, they know that even if they get down 6th, 7th, 8th inning, they're going to grind and find a way to get things going.
All right.
It's time for you to do the legal.
Shout out to our friends at Flowing Water Plumbing and Drain. If you're going to call it to the roast, you better bring it, because if you don't, you'll be flushed. Brought to you by Flowing Water Plumbing and Drain. You are listening to 95.7 The Game, KGMZ, FM, and AC1, San Francisco, and Odyssey Sports Station. Always live on the free Odyssey app. Don't forget, you can also watch us every single day on our YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter streams, powered by First NorCal Credit Union. Upgrade your savings dividend. Open a First NorCal First Class Money Market today. Shout out to everybody out there listening, getting off a graveyard shift. If you're at work, what is happening? Good morning to all the overnight dancers. Hopefully business will be booming for Memorial Day weekend. It's usually a great weekend. Usually a great weekend for that. A lot of people got time on their heads. You know, you get the 3-day weekend, get a Monday off. You know, get a lot of fun. Shout out to the cops out there. You're going to have to be on extra duty today. All the cops out there still in that overtime
When
money.
I think of Memorial Day, I also think strippers.
I mean, that's like not what I think of. But I do think of CHP waiting strategically to give everyone speeding tickets.
Lucky
so
us.
Please drive safe.
Shout out to the California Highway Patrol. We love you guys.
Love them.
When I think Memorial Day weekend, what do I think? I think of Sean Elliott hitting the 3 against the Portland Trail Blazers. Western Conference Finals.
That's what you think of?
I think about the Memorial Day massacre between the Celtics and the Lakers. I think the Lakers beat them like
time.
I think the Celtics beat the Lakers like 148 to 114 or something.
You don't think of like day off. You don't think of like barbecue, the opening of the gates of summer. None of those things. You think of Sean Elliott.
I think of Sean Elliott hitting the 3.
I call cap on
Game
that.
1, San Antonio, Portland Trail Blazers.
You guys ever think about the Hunter Strickland Bryce Harper brawl that happened?
Oh yeah,
I do not think
that was
about
not a brawl. That's not a brawl. Robin Ventura versus Nolan Ryan was a brawl.
Bryce Harper throwing the helmet, like skidded away from him. I was like, what are you doing?
Basically what happened.
So much hair in that
It was the end of your boy's career. Come on, Samardzija.
Oh, yes.
Michael Morse.
And Michael Morse.
Michael Morse, yeah.
Well,
his head collided into Samardzija.
Just absolutely getting DDT. Well, I guess it was Goldberg. He like Goldberged him. He speared him.
Speared him through the mat.
What do you think of when you think of Memorial Day? I think of Sean Elliott hitting the 3, and I think of the Celtics rolling the Lakers. The Memorial Day massacre. 148, 114. Is that the score, Spinoni?
Something like that, and then the Lakers go on to win it.
Yeah, they go on to win it. Was that 1985? Was it 85 or was it 80? I think it was 85.
So 3-year-old Bonte Hill remembers that?
Yeah, I do.
Dude, he was locked in that day.
I was locked in. I was locked in.
Like crackers in one hand, he's watching the game.
Like baby Chaz, he was doing like the too short, back then.
Well,
He's too small.
What else do
He
you
hit his
think
first
of?
"Oh Baby" after that game. Actually,
I did. Maybe in 1987.
1985.
baby.
You're
85
right.
was it 85?
Yeah, don't
game
Google
one,
search
85.
Memorial Day Massacre because there's an actual real one in 1937
Oh yeah,
in
let's not do
Chicago.
that.
We don't want to talk about
well,
that.
No, we're talking about the one on the court. We're talking about the one in Boston Garden.
Don't talk about that.
Talking about the one in Boston Garden, 1985.
Michael Morse looked like a WWE professional wrestler, didn't he?
That day in the brawl.
No, just in general.
He had the hair
that
for
ended
it.
his career.
He looked like a big X-Pac.
His career ended during that fight.
Yeah, I know. And
then
his
the concussion ended his career. But yeah, that
No,
dude was
his home run
fight
down the
where
line.
he suffered a concussion.
Oh,
He
my
suffered a concussion in that fight. He ran
Yeah,
into
no,
Jeff
that was the
Samardzija.
moment. We
That
never
was
saw
his
him again
career.
after
He was done. Yeah.
well,
just-
I feel like his home run never gets the appropriate just due that it should. The one down the line, the pinch hit home run, where he's holding the bat as he's going down the line. That's just an
all-time moment. All time.
Yeah, that.
what do you
all
think
time.
of Roasters? 888-957-9570.
And Buster Posey's indifference during the Bryce Harper, like just
standing there. Yeah, that was kind of weak though. That was kind of weak.
Hunter was running his mouth.
Yeah, but
for
that was
multiple years.
kind of weak of Buster Posey to stand
It's
behind.
embarrassing, really.
That was kind of weak. That was
Make sure
weak.
you don't miss that break, bro.